To start off my trip, I landed in Malta International Airport and took a Bolt to my hotel in Mellieha. I stayed in a hotel called Maritime Antoinine Hotel and Spa, which had various facilities like this rooftop pool and had a very beautiful view of the Mellieha parish church. I really recommend staying in this location. It's not as lively as St. Julian's, but it's very close to the beach and it has a lot of great restaurants nearby. Personally, I found it very easy to get around the island via Bolt as it was super efficient and cost effective. The Mellieha Parish Church was the first attraction I went to near my hotel. I didn't include any photos of the inside in the video, but the structure was both beautiful inside and out. So I'm outside Mellieha Parish Church. This is what it looks like. It's a super lovely and sunny evening, so I'm gonna check it out from the inside and yeah. I love the detail on the church itself and the fact that you could see the sea from nearby. I also really liked the surrounding grounds where you could chill out and just enjoy the view. I ended up taking a very spontaneous bus ride from Mellieha to Valetta and checked out some of the local area. It was super buzzing and very lively. So I'm currently in Valetta and I'm just walking through the main street. There's lots of live music and loads of nice restaurants. I'm super glad that I went to Valetta on the evening of the first night that I arrived. It was a very fun, buzzing location with lots of restaurants and live music and places to buy souvenirs. I do feel that you can cover a lot of Valetta in a very short evening, so I'm glad that I didn't make it a part of one of my main days, as I was only spending around 4 days in Malta. I'm really glad that I also went to one of the main gardens in the evening because it was super pretty as it lit up in the evening, and I could also see the surrounding Maltese Bay with all of the lights on in the evening, and it was just a great experience rather than kind of going on a hot sunny day in the morning. I do regret not going in the day just because I've never seen the cannon firing that they do around 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. every day. However, I did really like how the garden was just so beautiful in the evening and the view that we got was really amazing. I am currently back in my hotel room. I got to Malta around 2 or 3 in the afternoon and headed straight to the hotel that I'm staying in. It's quite nice. It's a hotel and spa, and I'll put the name somewhere in the description or in the video. It's got a indoor pool, it's got a rooftop pool, there is a spa and a couple of restaurants in the 2 buildings. It's quite a large hotel, so I'm actually staying in one of the wings and you kind of have to travel through a tunnel to get here. The hotel staff and everything seem super nice. I've not really experienced much. I'm not really one to hang out in hotel rooms when I'm on holiday. I kind of just go into town and explore. Mellieha is quite well lit up. There are a couple of restaurants on the strip that I'm staying in, which is quite nice. But hopefully over the trip I'll go to St. Julian's, and I've been to Valetta this evening, which is quite nice. There are loads of restaurants and bars to hang out and grab some food or drink. I didn't end up eating there just because we'd eaten in Mellieha in the afternoon, and hopefully I'll also get a chance to go to St. Julian's. I've been to Malta before, so I've been to St. Julian's and wanted to stay somewhere a little bit different, and I'm quite happy with the decision. It's not as far out as I thought it would be, so Mellieha isn't so far from Valetta and St. Julian's by car. It's about a 30-minute drive. So on a bolt for 2 people, it's about €21, which isn't so bad. And yeah, I'm quite near Gozo and Comino Island, so hopefully that journey will be a lot easier. Tomorrow I'm going to explore Gozo Island and then also go to Comino, hopefully go into the water and swim around, but also check out some of the historical places on Gozo. When I came to Malta last time, I only went to Comino, which was super nice. It was quite crowded, as you'd expect, but hopefully Gozo is quite fun as well, and yeah.
One thing that I do recommend is booking your trip to Gozo Island and Comino Island on the first day that you arrive, just so that you have your tickets ready and you have it planned in your itinerary. Whenever I'm on holiday, I do like to be very spontaneous and go day by day, but this was one thing that I definitely wanted to have booked in the diary. I do feel like a lot of the day does get wasted on the pre-booked tours. The tour that I booked was at 10 a.m. and they showed up an hour late and spent almost 30 to 45 minutes picking up other passengers on the way to get to the boat. However, I'm really glad that on this trip I did go to Gozo Island and go to the city of Victoria.
I've just arrived in Gozo and I'm exploring the island. I'm in the town of Victoria and there are a couple of markets around here. I only have 2 hours left, so I'm going to Cittadella and I'm going to head back, and then I'm going to go to Comino Island, so we'll check it out. I just had the most nicest orange juice, so it's actually really nice weather. It's like hot, but it's like breezy, so it's good. It's enjoyable and not too humid or disgusting. Here are some of the markets. There's a few other ones in the street, but I've just been past them. And I'm headed up to Cittadella now.
I didn't have too much time to spend in Gozo, so one of the main things I did was check out the local markets and then go to the Cittadella.
I'm in the Cittadella in Gozo, so I'm gonna explore the streets here and hopefully find some markets and somewhere to eat.
The entry to the Cittadella was actually free. There were some shops nearby where you could get some magnets, and overall I really liked the structure of the fort, and I thought it was a great place to see the high top and the high viewing point of Gozo Island. It was super windy and really bright and hot, but overall a really great time, and it was just fun to walk around and see all of like the 360 of Gozo Island. Malta is really well known for its limestone architecture, and a lot of the buildings do look like this, which is one of my favourite parts of being in Malta. I had already been to Comino Island, but going for the second time was still one of the highlights of this very short trip. Once you arrive, you have about an hour to an hour and a half just to swim around, and honestly it was so much fun. And then they take you around on the boat and show you some of the local structures. It was a super tiring day, so I ended up just going to a local restaurant in Mellieha to close the day.
So I'm currently in a Indian Maltese fusion restaurant, so they're serving traditional Maltese food but also Indian fusion food. I've ordered a chicken tikka burger with some interesting Indian sides, so I'm curious to see what it tastes like. Hopefully it'll be good, otherwise I'm probably gonna have to eat a lot of fries, but yeah, we'll see.
I found overall that the portions in Malta were really big, which is a really good thing, and you get a lot for the money that you spend on your food. On the third day, I went to Gadira Beach, which is only 15 to 20 minutes from Mellieha. I went jet skiing, which was super fun. It was a little bit expensive. It was around 60 euros per person for an individual jet ski for about 20 minutes. The jet skis actually went up to 50 miles an hour, and there was a free space in the Mellieha Bay where it was GPS tracked and you could roam around freely, which was super fun. Then in the evening, I went to the Popeye village. This is a film set where the first ever Popeye movie was filmed, which stars Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall. I didn't realise that the Popeye Village is actually a theme park where they had loads of daybirds and actually a beach party going on when I got there. For 18 euros, I don't think that's bad at all. There were loads of structures and loads of buildings like this cinema and also this mayor's office. It is very much a film set, so it does look very fake, but you can explore quite freely, and honestly it was super cool. I did arrive at around 4:30, which was about an hour before closing time. So I did end up getting a €2 discount, which isn't too bad to explore. You get free popcorn, and I also got a free postcard, which is great because I do collect them on every trip that I go to. One of my favorite buildings was this flower shop. I thought it was super cute and definitely one of my favorite buildings on the film set. Although I haven't seen the original movie, this was Popeye's actual house in the film. They had the bedroom area open and also the kitchen. I think because it was so close to closing time, we weren't allowed in kind of the living space that would be open during the day. They did have this kind of closing dance and ceremony, and I believe they have live performances and singers throughout the day. They also had this space for some games that you could play, and also the highest viewing point on the film set where we had this fabulous view of the Popeye village. To end the evening, I spent it in Medina, which is one of the historical towns within Malta. This was the Medina gate where you could get horse rides. However, I decided to just walk around the small town. I do believe a very small number of people do actually live here, and you can just walk around and go to some of their souvenir shops or go to some of their popular restaurants, which is what I did. I ended up having dinner in a restaurant called Fontanella, which is a restaurant slash tea garden. The view from the rooftop was beautiful, and I thought overall it was a really great location to have my dinner. I ordered a very simple burger, so nothing fancy, but overall it didn't disappoint, and I really recommend it if you're in Medina. I actually only realised that it was a tea garden when I was going to pay, and I saw all of these fabulous cakes, which I regret not actually trying. After dinner, I walked around Medina and really soaked in the streets and the beautiful architecture all throughout this beautiful town. I really loved the detail on some of the structures and the beautiful balconies and the lighting. and also how some people had actually decorated their doorways, like this beautiful one with flowers and a red door. I didn't expect to be doing so much on my last day. I went to Marsaxlokk, which is one of the main fishing villages, and took a boat ride, and also ended up going to the Blue Grotto, all before taking my flight in the evening.
Hi everyone, so it's my last day in Malta and I'm currently in the fishing village of Marsaxlokk. I've ordered the octopus in a restaurant called Il Bouquet and I'm super excited to try it. I've got my orange juice. In the meantime, hopefully I'll spend the next couple of hours here and visit some of the shops and just walk around in this very pretty fishing village. It's really sunny today, it's super hot and I'm excited. Let's go.
I'm not too big on seafood, but I'm so glad that I tried this octopus pasta, as it was super yummy, super fresh, and overall just great. There were so many restaurants and so many stalls in the fishing village for you to explore and try different kinds of foods. I walked around the main strip where they had loads of restaurants, and you could just sit by the local benches and just take in this very breathtaking view. Whilst Malta is super easy to get around with just your credit card, I do recommend carrying some cash with you, as some tourist attractions like this boating did actually need me to pay with cash only.
Hello. Hello. Oh shit.
So the boat took you to St. Peter's Pool, and it was only, I think, 20 euros, and it was about an hour long, and there was only around 6 other people on the boat, and you got a view of a lot of the boats on the shoreline, and also a really good view of the fishing village from kind of this different angle. I honestly thought for 20 euros, like, it was a really fun experience, and it was great to go to the St. Peter's Pool and check out kind of the local landscape and the coast. The water was so clear and so beautiful, and you could see a lot of locals swimming by and fishing in the local coastlines. I was cutting it very fine, but I ended up closing the evening by going to the Blue Grotto. Again, for the caves, you do need cash. However, I was quite lucky that there was an ATM nearby. However, that did charge me to withdraw my own money. The boat came quite quickly and the water was just so beautiful. It was a little bit more turbulent as the evening went on, but overall a really great experience, and you got to see the caves in the Blue Grotto quite closely and really see the inside, and they kind of move the boat around so that you can see the clear water and get really close to the rocks. They do take you around some of the more bigger caves like this one, but also some of the more smaller ones where you do go inside and it does get quite dark, and it was honestly really cool to have that experience. The water in the caves was so blue, and you could see right to the bottom of the ocean, and honestly it felt like you were just so close. It would have been so cool just to jump out here and go for a swim. This was definitely one of my favorite shots. I just love how blue the water looks and how kind of intricate the detail of the cave actually is. There were a couple of restaurants nearby the Blue Grotto. I ended up going to the one that's the closest, called Step In, and had a very simple salad as it was quite hot and it was really refreshing. The local area is quite nice. There was this fort and kind of the local landscape where you could just sit and enjoy the view. I ended up walking to the main viewing point where you could see the caves from a different angle. I do think a bus goes there, so I do recommend taking that, but this was a really great way to end a really fabulous trip.